Now, moving on to the next category for Best Adapted Screenplay, we have the Wachowski Sisters for V for Vendetta. It is a film adaptation of the graphic novel V for Vendetta belonging to the DC Comics sub-label Vertigo Comics, written by Alan Moore and illustrated by David Lloyd. The Wachowski sisters were fans on the first, so in the minds of 1990s, before starting work on The Matrix, they wrote an outline on the script that embodied the contents of the graphic novel. During post-production on The Matrix Reloaded and Matrix Revolutions, the sisters reviewed the script and offered the directional role to James McTune. It was then they adapted elements to condense and moderate the story, while trying to preserve the integrity of the graphic novel at its time. But first, let's talk about a little about the plot of the movie. The story takes place in the United Kingdom, where a conservative and fascist dictatorial regime government to the head of the shareholders manipulating the information regarding the events that occur throughout television. Back then, a human virus experiment was conducted that ended up killing a lot of people, but B was the only immune and survivor. So he takes the position of Avenger and kills everyone involved in the experiment, just as he takes a position to attack the government and the free people. On the movie, we can see that his cell number was 5 in Roman numeral, which influences his pseudonym B, wears a mask based on the face of Guy Fawkes, who planned the gunpowder plot in 1605, an event that picks up on the film's story when they try to attack the parliament. In the same way, the film has many elements related to the Second World War, showing a collector who gives the image that Adolf Hitler had along with the symbols and regiments of Nazis. Elements such as a Big Brother from George Orwell's novel in 1985 also take up, as it is a large screen in front of their homes that, apart from serving as television, is a direct transmission medium where the calling soldier gives his message to the whole village. As well as this, there is many other elements, both real or historical, as well as fictitious. B seeks the destruction of the UK Parliament on November 5, the day that Guy Fawkes was caught and executed. Finally, the people rebels against the government with a distinguished phrase from B. The people should not fear the government. The government should fear the people. They all come together and wear the same mask as B, as a symbol of the rebellion, and in the same way helping him so that the government does not recognize the true B. The film has been unexplained and has had a great impact on the society that defense actions are taken up in the town. Today, it has become a symbol for protesting against political groups or financial institutions. But Alan Moore completely disassociated himself from the film due to his total lack of involvement in the making and directing of the plot and as a series of disputes over film adaptation of his works. He terminates the relationship with his publisher, DC Comics. After his departure, Warner Bros. Decided to withdraw Moore's alleged statements approving the adaptation. The writers say that the script had too many holes in the plot, and the storyline went in the opposite direction from his original work. But in the end, we recognize that adaptation a novel or a comic is a quite difficult science. There will always be divided opinions. But we're in the honor of being among the nominated science in the recommends model main fundamental arguments of Moore's work.